Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be reacting to the first episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch, the newest spin-off to Star Wars The Clone Wars. If you guys haven't seen, I actually did a reaction to Clone Wars Season 7. I did not react to the whole show, but I have seen the whole show, obviously. But last year when Season 7 came out, I did react to that. Where last we left The Bad Batch, they were doing a mission with Rex and Anakin, and they ended up saving Echo, and Echo joined them at the end. I do know that this takes place after the end of the Clone Wars, so I believe this is the Bad Batch finding their way within the Empire. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I think this is going to be very interesting and very fun. As you can see, I have brought the clone helmet out of retirement. I don't know how long I've had this thing, actually. I literally had to dust it off, too. But yeah, so this will, just be sitting here. It's granted, none of the Bad Batch wear a clone helmet like this, but you get the idea. So, but yeah, this is the first episode, and because of that, the full-length reaction is going to be available for free. So if any of you guys are new here, I can quickly explain that I do full unedited reactions to everything I react to, and those are available over at my Patreon page, and they are they do have a cost, which is $5 a month to watch my unedited reactions. However, at the beginning of every season that I do, I make the first episode free. So if you want to watch my unedited reaction to the first episode of The Bad Batch, which this is a pretty good episode because this is like, was it 75 minutes long? Actually, that's exactly what it says here on Disney+. So, if you want to watch the unedited full-length reaction, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link, that will take you over to my Patreon page, but, like I said, the video is free. There's no show footage, no footage from The Bad Batch itself, because I can't just give you an episode, basically. So what you have to do is sync up your copy of this episode of The Bad Batch on Disney+, presumably, and just play it in sync with my footage. And I've tried to make it as easy as possible, so hopefully it all works out. You can do that, try it out, and if you like that, maybe consider signing up for full length over at my Patreon page. Once again, it's only $5 a month, but if you don't want to, that's entirely fine too. And if you don't even want to try out full length, then just wait a few seconds and the reaction will start up here. So yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started on this episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch. Here we go. Oh, Star Wars The Clone Wars. Oh! Star Wars The Bad Batch. The Clone Wars has ended. Aftermath. I like we're keeping the red text of the end of Clone Wars.
Separatists push to the brink.
Yes!
The public forces continue to mount victories on battlefronts across the galaxy.
Oh my gosh, we get to keep the narrator, Yularen. Oh.
General Grievous retreated to the outer rim.
Ooh, this is a recap of
battle droids severely depleted, led by Jedi Master Deba B'Elanna.
Oh.
They struggle to hold their position as they wait for reinforcements to arrive.
We're still in the Clone Wars. Oh my gosh.
My Padawan will be here.
Master! Here. I'm here.
That's Kanan!
Caleb, where are
Yeah.
reinforcements?
Oh my god!
They're right behind me.
Oh my god. I was not expecting this.
Where are they?
But you gotta see these clones.
Yeah.
They're different.
The Bad Batch. Wow, Kanan brought the Bad Batch. Oh shit. Is it a rock? I bet it's a rock. Oh! Good shot. Yay! Oh, this is so amazing.
That's Clone Force 99.
Oh, this is so nice. Oh! Wrecker! Ooh. Oh, I like this. Oh my gosh, Wrecker! Just push one over. They'll take him. Yeah, get out of the way, man. Oof. Good job. Man, imagine if they were all like them.
You little Jedi! You missed all the fun!
Watching your team in action was the fun.
Oh,
Care to introduce your new friends, Caleb?
Yes, Master. This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo,
yeah.
Tech, and Crosshair.
While I'm not sure fun is the sentiment I would express,
Nah.
I agree with my Padawan.
Clone Intelligence is reporting Jedi General
Okay.
Obi-Wan Kenobi has found and engaged General Grievous on Utapau. If he captures or kills Grievous, the
That's it.
Separatist command structure will collapse.
That means
and
Dooku's
most
already
likely the
dead.
droid armies along with them.
A fascinating theory, yet unfortunately not something we can control from here.
Yeah, but that means Order 66 is only like a couple hours away.
Any orders? We move fast.
Good. That's the only way I know.
Oh my gosh. His voice is just a little too deep for how young he is, but I love this. This kind of explains a lot about Kanan.
Execute Order 66.
Okay, or a few minutes. So, here's the question, did the Bad Batch get that order? Answer, no. They didn't get Order 66. God damn it, I wanted a whole episode of them.
Execute Order 66.
Yeah, I heard that too. What's Order 66?
I am not certain.
Huh.
Echo, Tech, talk to the rig captain. Find out what you can. Crosshair, you and I will track down the kid and make sure nothing happens to him.
That's interesting. So, because they are different, they didn't get the order.
Come on down, kid. We're here to help. No!
Whoa!
What are you doing? Following orders.
Oh shit.
Don't even know what the order is.
Maybe it's gradual?
So just follow orders.
Huh. What's gonna happen? Does he just jump?
No!
Oh! Okay. He escaped. Oh, what a start.
General Grievous was defeated on Utapau. The Separatist leadership has collapsed. The war is over.
Just like I said.
Nah.
It is just like you said.
Nah. That's true. Well, who died? A Jedi. This is so... It's so strange and eerie. We don't really see too much of
Not just the clones.
what happens after the Clone Wars.
Let's test that theory. Excuse me, Trooper. What division are you from?
Step aside.
Ah, well, they seem the same to me.
Nah. I love that this show is D. Bradley Baker working overtime.
Good to be back.
The smell's getting worse.
Nah.
You're still new. You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Well, I'll get bored.
Well, if you wear your helmet, you should probably be fine. It has a filtration in it.
Those clones served alongside General Balaba for years. How could they turn on her like that? Because of the Reg's programming. What programming?
Yeah.
My guess is we are immune to the effects of the programming, though I can't be 100% certain of it.
Yeah.
What about Echo? He was a Reg before he joined us. Yeah. If all Regs were programmed, why didn't I react like the others? The
Well,
damage you sustained on Skako Minor
Yeah.
most likely wiped out all of your preset behavioral modifications. You are more machine than man,
nah.
percentage-wise at least.
That's just straight up Ian McDermott.
You can say that again.
And Revenge of the Sith is still going then.
Nothing. Galactic Empire.
Nah.
Still don't think the Regs are programmed?
Nah. Yeah. Look at them. The Bad Batch is the perfect point to see what happened after the Clone Wars. Because they're different, they have to figure out what's normal.
Hello,
Hello, tiny child.
my name's Omega. I was wondering when you guys would come back.
Hi.
She is my medical assistant. One with a curious mind that causes her to wander.
Okay.
Come, Omega.
Hey, Tarkin. Wonder if we're gonna see Vader on this show.
The need for future clones is being questioned.
Our contracts stipulate the continued production.
Your contracts were with the Republic, which no longer exists.
Nuh.
Surely you clone troopers will be needed to maintain order throughout the galaxy.
Indeed, a service conscription soldiers could provide at half the cost.
The skill
I
level and efficiency
suppose.
of our clones is far superior to that of any recruited body.
Yeah.
I shall be the judge of that, Prime Minister.
Do you want cost or quality?
Hello again.
Hello, tiny child. You're very interested in them.
Omega.
The defect squad's got themselves a new recruit. Another member added to the sad batch.
The Sad Batch.
What the?
Oh, damn.
Who threw that?
I did.
Oh, shit.
Now apologize to my friend.
Kid's got spunk.
I like this kid.
Alright. Oh, damn. Wrecker. God damn it, Wrecker.
That's it. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was gonna say a food fight, but it's more of a bar fight in here. Oh. Good on Echo for getting in there, though. Oh shit, now Crosshair's in. This is probably going to help the stormtroopers, right? Tarkin doesn't like this.
Admiral Tarkin's here. He's the one evaluating the clones. The same Tarkin from the Citadel rescue when you, how shall I put this?
Blew up.
Yeah.
Turned into that. Yes. And he's not a big supporter of clones.
Yeah. I mean, the other clones might be disbanded, but keep them.
Live rounds could damage my clones and my facility.
For which you will be fairly compensated. Do it.
Tarkin is serious.
Now we're talking.
Uh-oh, those are Get Good droids. Oh, those are the Get Good droids. Ooh, that looked like it hurt.
Reprogramming this thing will be pointless if you crush it.
Okay.
Better be right about this.
Oh. Reprogram one of them. Alright, now they can use him with his live rounds. I love that he's sitting on top of him. Ooh, good job.
Wrecker, knife.
Oh, he's got another knife. Oh, good job.
How many of these enhanced clones do you possess?
Just the
5
4.
are all
Well,
that remain.
yeah, 5.
Then they executed Order 66?
Since both the Jedi
Only the General's death is confirmed.
Yeah.
A counter report filed by one of their own says the Padawan escaped.
God damn it, Crosshair.
Let us
How many droids are we talking about, Tech?
I can't tell from this distance. Something's blocking my scan.
Clankers always travel in packs. Let's get a closer look at what we're walking into.
It's gonna be Jedi. You know it's gonna be Jedi. This is a test.
Why would Tarkin send us to attack our own forces?
Because we refuse to fight for an empire.
You're Saw Gerrera,
Saw Gerrera?
trained by Captain Rex and General Skywalker to fight for the Republic.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Saw would be against the Empire, wouldn't he?
If we give up now, everything we fought for, everyone we lost, will have been for nothing. I won't let that happen.
The rebellion begins.
The war may have ended. The Civil War is about to begin.
Man.
a handful of
Immediately,
fighters and
the
limited
rebellion
firepower,
begins.
You don't stand a chance. A state of heightened awareness is not unusual for an enhanced clone such as herself.
Good one, Tech. You almost had me.
She's a
When
clone.
Nalase spoke of 5 clones, Tarkin assumed that meant us, but echoes a reg. The fifth
okay.
is Omega.
That makes
I confirmed
sense.
My suspicion.
She's one of us. We're not leaving her there.
Yeah. Alright, so she... Now, presumably she's also a clone from Jango Fett, but...
My scanners are indicating an assortment of armament, curios, and detritus of little to no value.
That's Ben Diskin, isn't it?
I like it.
Now I hear
You
it.
should not be here, Omega. Nalase instructed us to stay in the medical wing.
God, I love Ben Diskin and his voices.
You want to come with us? Or did we get captured for nothing?
Nuh.
You came back for me?
Yeah.
That's right.
Because we're nice
Or
like
you
that.
can stay on Camino if...
No, it's like I said before. I want to go with you.
How touching.
God, Crosshair is such a sinister voice.
Don't you see we're locked up in here because of him? He had us disobey orders. I never thought you disobeying orders was a problem.
Yeah.
We do it all the time.
Good soldiers follow orders. Every choice you've
Good
made
regs
since
follow
Tala has been
orders.
wrong.
Intensify the programming.
Yes.
Then proceed.
Oh, make him like the others.
Because while these cells were retrofitted to hold normal individuals, they could not possibly account for someone like Rekka.
Oh.
You mean I could punch our way out?
They can hear. Harder.
Nothing happened.
Oh! Well, made a dent. Oh! Good shot. Oh! That looked like it hurt. Oh. Good job. Welcome to the team. No, he's one of them.
Is that...
Now surrender.
Is that an order?
I guess it is.
Well, you know what we do with orders.
I guess I'm disobeying that one too.
Who can get the better shot? Whoop! Okay. Well, he dodged. Oh, good job! Oh yeah, start throwing stuff like Maul! Oh! That's not good.
Omega, go!
Sir, someone's overriding the controls.
Oh. Oh! Oh, good shot, kid. Oof. Alright, good job. Aw, man. This is sad. This is honestly not where I thought we were going to be going in this show.
Hey, what's that gonna do?
You'll be okay. Just hold still.
Is this what you were looking for?
You found my Lula!
Aw.
What's the plan, Hunter? I thought we could go off
Ugh.
our own. Lay low. But with Crosshair gunning for us, I'm not so sure.
What
Yeah.
about your friends? Could any of them help us?
That would be a short list.
Yeah.
I can think of one. Plot a course for J-19. J-19?
What's
You
there?
know a guy.
Alrighty. I don't know if there's gonna be like an after credit scene or something. There could be, so I might just wait out the credits for a little bit. Alright, before Before we start the discussion, I'm going to pull up that cast list. Oh, that's... Alright, that's very clever. Because it's D. Bradley Baker as, you know, literally every clone, including 5 main... five main characters. I like that it just says, starring D. Bradley Baker as the Bad Batch. Okay. Alright, well... Oh, okay, so I assumed Saw's voice, that's his original voice. That'd be kind of interesting. Alright, well, I was right about Ben Diskin, so... And, obviously, Freddie Prinze Jr. as Caleb Doom. Alrighty, that's the first episode of The Bad Batch. Okay, so, not what I thought this show was going to be. I thought that this show, from the trailer that they had, I thought this was going to be more about the Bad Batch working for the Empire, you know? But this honestly does make sense that they would end up against the Empire. But the trailers definitely made it seem like it was more about that. So, hey, I mean, I guess kept us on our toes, you know? So that's at least good. What a great first episode, too. And I like that, you know... I like that they went ahead and made this just an hour and 10-minute special, you know? Like, that was really good, because it definitely helps, you know, get through everything we need to get through in the first episode, while also allowing it to take its time, you know? So, that was good. If it was just a, you know... I mean, I guess, essentially, this is about the equivalent of 3 episodes of the Clone Wars, you know? So, instead of having a 3-episode arc... Well, and I guess in that respect, it's like the Clone Wars movie, although this was a whole lot better than the Clone Wars movie was. Even though the Clone Wars movie isn't bad, it's alright, you know? So yeah, I'm glad that they went with that route again, that they just made it basically its own little movie. Shorter than a normal movie, though, but that's totally fine. So, man, oh man, this is great. This is really great. I mean, can you imagine... I mean, if you watch this, like, right after Clone Wars, you know? Like, that would be pretty cool. The fact that there is that year gap for us watching when Season 7 of Clone Wars aired last year, and then now to this. Like, there is that year of separation, but still, like, it's still fresh in my memory and everything. And actually, I've been rewatching Clone Wars, and I'm actually rewatching Rebels right now, and it's definitely interesting now watching this, especially with, let's talk about the first thing I wrote down, is Caleb Doom. That was cool. I did not expect that at all, getting to see young Kanan Jarrus when he was Caleb Doom. That was a really good inclusion. And it's just nice to see. Now, I will say, you know, Freddie Prinze Jr., he's so good as Kanan. But I will say, with how young he is in this show, I feel like his voice at times was just a little too deep. But at the same time, I just sort of sit back and it's like, well, who cares? It's Kanan, you know? It's Kanan, and it's Freddie Prinze Jr. still as Kanan. So there were like 1 or 2 lines where I was like, okay, he said that a little too low for the age they're going for, but still is just amazing. And then, oh man, because see, you're sitting here and it's like, oh, well, General Kenobi has engaged General Grievous on Utapau, and it's like, oh geez, so this is right at the end of the Clone Wars. Like, this could be, you know, a little dicey, and it's like, oh, are we gonna get Order 66? And that's the thing too, when they say like, oh well, Obi-Wan has engaged General Grievous on Utapau, it made it seem like, well, then there's still a few hours before Order 66 goes into effect. Nope, it was a few minutes. I was kind of thinking at the beginning that this whole episode was going to be about just the Bad Batch and Caleb on this mission, you know? And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool, you know? That would have been so cool. Because honestly, like, if anything, yeah, like, the Padawans, I feel like, would have fun, you know, going around doing stuff with the Bad Batch. Because, like, we saw a bit of it with Anakin. But I'm honestly, like, can you imagine if it was, like, Ahsoka or someone else? Like, yeah, I really love how Caleb was going to go on this mission with them. But then everything went south. But that opening fight was very good. They definitely, you know, reestablished the Bad Batch right off the bat, which is good, you know. That's really good, just establishing immediately, like, you know, they are clones, but they're different. Like, even if you watch, you know, because that's the thing, is for this entire show to be a spin-off of these characters that only appeared very briefly, you know, 4 episodes total, at the end of the Clone Wars, and for them to get their own spin-off is, you know, you might almost say, like, well, that's kind of strange that you would give them the spin-off, but they do such a good job of re-explaining everything, you know, and they all have such distinct personalities, you know, that immediately you understand all of them again. You even understand, you know, even if you didn't watch the Bad Batch arc in Clone Wars, you completely understand, like, okay, yeah, this is, so it's this and this and this, and you know, it's these guys, and you even understand Echo as well, you know? It's like Echo, it's like, oh, okay, so he was like a normal clone, he was a reg, as they say, but then something happened to him, and then now he's part of the Bad Batch. Like, okay, you understand that even if you hadn't seen that. And if you have seen that, it's even better because you understand everything, you know? So I like that. And I also like, you know, it's always interesting seeing the Bad Batch interact with the other clones, which is why, you know, when they announce, like, oh, we're going to have a spin-off about the Bad Batch, and it's like, okay, I wouldn't have suspected that necessarily. Like, that would not have been, like, my first choice for, that would not have been my first choice for a spin-off, you know? And the thing is, maybe it's because of how they're presented in the Clone Wars, where it's like, you know, I don't know, it's like, while yes, they are really good characters in that, like, there's just something about, like, I don't know, because they have to be portrayed as so different from the other clones, you almost think, like, okay, well, can they carry a show? Sure enough, they can. Because, I mean, it's the greatest feat of the Clone Wars that all the clones are human, you know? Like, they're such interesting characters. Every single one that you meet is a very interesting and unique character, you know? That's why, that's maybe one of the greatest things about the Clone Wars, is really humanizing the clones and making them such interesting characters. So to then get, you know, take this humanized clone that you have and then add on all the unique personalities of the Bad Batch, it does honestly really work for a show. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what I really expected for the show, but this is far and above what I could have expected for the show, you know? So that was that opening scene was just really, really good, and like pushing the tanks over and stuff. And we got a little bit of the battle droids too. I mean, basically, we got one last fight in the Clone Wars, which was really nice. So that was really good, and it gives us a bit of Kanan's backstory. So now, you know, you watch Clone Wars, he talks about his master, and you understand it, you know? So yeah, so that was really, really good. Alrighty. So yeah, like that was really good. And then just immediately, Order 66, like immediately, like I wasn't expecting it so quickly, but there it was. And it's interesting that, you know, it's interesting how it has affected Crosshair, you know, because he's the only one affected by it, you know? And I don't know, I just didn't expect that, you know? It's like, oh yeah, they're different, so the chip doesn't exactly affect them like it would a reg, you know? And I like that. That's very interesting. So, you know, when they turn it around and all the regs are killing Jedi, they're all looking at it as like, what the hell just happened? Like, you know, what is going on? And, you know, they realize like, oh, well, there's only one order being repeated. Execute Order 66. And they're like, what the hell is Order 66? Even Tech doesn't know what Order 66 is, you know? And they're like, we don't know what that is. It just seems so strange. So all of that is interesting, and eventually leading to Caleb being able to get away because Hunter doesn't try to kill him because he is just as confused as Caleb is, you know? And then to immediately have that conflict between Hunter and Crosshair over Order 66 introduces a new dynamic, you know? And it basically begins the slow decline, I guess, of Crosshair into now being a bad guy, which is pretty interesting. So that is all interesting, and then they end up going back to Kamino, where they then hear about like, oh well, the Jedi are traitors and they were executed for treason, and it's so strange because this is the Bad Batch. They are the strange ones, you know. They're the weird stepchildren of the clones, but they're looking around like, wait a second, the regs, this isn't right. This isn't what clones do, you know. They all look at them like, you guys have fought with the Jedi for years. Why are you suddenly turning on them and, you know, cheering for their deaths just because someone says they may have committed treason, you know? I always loved, like, well, okay, I was gonna say, okay, I guess that didn't work. I was gonna say, like, they never say what the treason is, but the attempt on Palpatine's life would be that, and therefore because of the attempt on Palpatine's life, all Jedi are framed for that. So yeah, that's it. For some reason, I never connected those dots. Well, I guess I'm stupid. Oh well. But yeah, the whole aftermath was very interesting, and everything with the meeting basically where they heard Palpatine's broadcast, and they're looking around like, this is an empire now, and you know, they look at all the regs, and they're like cheering on and everything, and it's like, okay, they were programmed. They are falling into their program, and it's one of the saddest things, honestly, when you think about it. You know, it is the great tragedy of the Clone Wars, you know, like everything that leads into, you know, when you start off with episode 4, it's like, okay, you know, here's this pretty basic story, and it's good and everything. But when you get more of it, and it's like, oh, there was a great tragedy that led into episode 4, and that is the entirety of the end of the Clone Wars. From here, the end of the Clone Wars show, Revenge of the Sith, all of it. And part of it is that the Clone Wars show did such a good job of humanizing these clones and making them characters, and to see how all of them have just been completely overridden by their programming is really, it's kind of sad to see, you know? And even the Bad Batch is looking around like, oh shit, the regs have drunk the Kool-Aid. You know, they've given in to the Kool-Aid implanted in their brains, you know? Like, this is bad, you know? And it's such an interesting thing because we never really get too much of what happens immediately after the Clone Wars, you know? Like, we've never really gotten a ton of that, I don't feel like. Like, some of it of, like, you know, the most I feel like we've gotten is the immediate effect of Order 66. And then it's like, you know, because in Revenge of the Sith, it's like, okay, our two remaining Jedi, Obi-Wan and Yoda, they go into exile on Dagobah and Tatooine. But other than that, we don't see anything else. And then at the end of Clone Wars, we don't really get too much, like, yeah, we get Ahsoka and Rex burying Jesse and all the other clones that were on that ship. but we don't see where they go after that. We don't know what really happens to Maul after that. Presumably he goes back to the syndicates, you know, but that's about it. That's all we can assume until we see him again in Rebels, you know, or I guess till we see him in. Well, yeah, I mean, you get the idea, but that's about it. So I love seeing, like, okay, what is the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars, and seeing that again from the perspective of the Bad Batch is very interesting, because it's not necessarily like, you know, it's not necessarily like, okay, here's Ahsoka who would have to, you know, maybe go into hiding, or she'd have to lay low, she'd have to, you know, find a place to hide, eventually leading into the Ahsoka novel, which I want to reread it. I know, like, some of it isn't really canon anymore, but I do want to reread that book at some point. I don't know when I'm going to, but oh well. So, like, it's not like that, and it's not like, we're not seeing this with, like, Obi-Wan and how he's dealing with Tatooine and stuff, though granted we will get some of that in the Obi-Wan series, I'm sure. But no, the fact that it's from the perspective of the Bad Batch, who were already strange to begin with, like, they were the strange ones, but now they're looking around, now that everything has changed, and they're like, okay, what happened here? This isn't normal. Like, we're supposed to be the weird ones here, you know? So, it's just so interesting. I like the addition of Omega. I thought she's a very interesting character. The fact that she is a clone as well. And yeah, you know, when they first mentioned, it's like, oh, we have 5 non-regs, basically. 5 genetically different clones. You know, at first I was like, well, okay, you know, that shouldn't count Echo, but, well, maybe they are counting him because he's a part of the Bad Batch. But that's not it, because Echo is a reg who became different, but Omega was the one who was specifically... Omega is the one who is specifically genetically altered. I mean, this is the first female clone, if I'm correct. She would be the first, or at least the first that we know of, you know? So I like the addition of her. I think it's a good way of, you know, I guess sort of, she would be sort of the audience surrogate in there, while also discovering more, you know, about herself, her clearly whatever programming she has, because, you know, she is a clone. Clearly, that's how she's that good with a blaster, you know? So, you know, while she has to discover more about herself through this show, we will also be able to, you know, use her as the audience surrogate with the Bad Batch. So she's definitely a really good addition. I like her. So we have the whole thing about Tarkin testing the clones, which was interesting. Because, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the original stormtroopers were the clones. And then eventually, but, like, I think, and maybe they'll go into this in this show, but I'm pretty sure that the original stormtroopers were the remaining clone troopers from the Clone Wars, until eventually they were just phased out in favor of a conscription service. So would it be conscription service or just conscripting soldiers, basically? So yeah, that's the thing, is I'm pretty sure that's how it is. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and it's entirely possible that they'll bring this up here. So, but I like this, you know, having the Clone Force tested. Now, see, I thought, like, okay, you know, they're going to either phase out the clones or they're going to become stormtroopers, but then eventually they're going to start conscripting stormtroopers. But they would keep the Bad Batch because the Bad Batch can be used for very specific things. And I thought that's where we were going with the show, but that really isn't, you know? But I like the test, the practical test they did against the Get Good droids. That was really interesting. And I like how they, you know, it's like, oh, what we did on Felucia, they reprogrammed one of them because that has the actual good weapon, and then they use that to destroy all of them. That was really interesting. I like that. And see, here's the thing. Ever since, you know, the Bad Batch arc in the Clone Wars, I've always kind of wondered, it's like, okay, well, Hunter has a knife, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, how useful is that knife? And, well, if you don't have a good blaster, those knives are good. So yeah, that was interesting. Just that whole thing was a really good fight scene. And then we had more of the testing the loyalties with taking down what they thought were going to be separatist insurgents, but it was Saw Gerrera. I love that Saw Gerrera is immediately starting a rebellion, you know? Like, because that's the thing is, you know, we see, you know, for many years there are rebels and there's, like, small rebel cells, but it's not until the events of Star Wars Rebels that they actually form into the Rebel Alliance, you know? But I like that immediately Saw Gerrera's like, we have to fucking kill Palpatine, and this is how, you know, we're going to do it, you know, our way. We're going to rebel and stuff. A civil war has just started in this galaxy. So I like all of that. That was really, really good. And then, yeah, just the questioning of, you know, do we actually kill innocent people, you know? It's strange that it's like, you know, they are basically taking what you would expect the normal clone troopers to be doing. It's like, you know, this isn't our orders. We destroy droids, we destroy separatists, but that's about it. We don't kill just innocent people, you know? So it's just, again, it's such an interesting take with the Bad Batch that I love it. And then, yeah, we had the whole thing of the 5 non-regs, one of them now being Omega. So, yeah, definitely want to learn more about her. So, yeah, like, basically it's like, okay, well, why did they make her? What was her specific genetic defect? It can't just be that she's a girl and, you know, all the other clones are male. It can't be that, I don't think, but it might be. Well, she's definitely got something with a blaster. She's definitely got some good aim with that blaster. So I think the explanation would be a bit more than that. But yeah, and a very interesting idea of having Crosshair turn. I mean, just a good idea of, you know, instead of having like, well, the Bad Batch, they're all good. They didn't get hit by the programming. It's interesting that one of them did, and now he's basically an enemy. Now, whether or not they will try to save him, like try to help his programming, you know, undo his programming, or they just end up killing him, that's yet to be seen. But I like this idea of basically being hunted by Crosshair, you know? Like, I like that idea, because he even says, like, well, my idea was going to be we could lay low for a while, but with Crosshair on our trail, we definitely can. You know, he will find us, you know? So I like that. So they'll have to go find somewhere. So yeah, it's a very interesting idea, though, to have Crosshair as a villain, basically. Or at least for now, an adversary for now. We'll have to see where that goes, definitely. And the last thing I wrote down was J-19. Where Hunter knows someone. I don't recognize that off the top of my head. The only person I could think who might be, you know, the person that Hunter is talking about, maybe, I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind is Rex, but that's about it. Obviously, they can't go find Anakin because Anakin is Vader. I would be curious if we are going to see Vader on this show. Considering they made a new model for him. Yeah, they made a model for him in the Clone Wars style at the end of the finale. They could definitely bring him in. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know who we're going to be going after, but I'll be curious. Interesting thing, though. We have another episode coming out this week. I have no idea when I'm getting this episode up. I'm recording this the day after it went up to Disney Plus, and tomorrow I'm going to edit it, and who knows, it might take a day or two to get past copyright before I can upload it. But I know that this Friday, the Friday I'm recording, the Friday that of the week that I'm recording this, there will be a new episode, and I imagine it's a standard length episode. So tune back in and we'll do another episode. Again, I'm just not sure when these episodes are going to be posted here to the channel, but just, you know, look around, just be patient, and I'll get these reactions up at some point. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really enjoyed this. This is a great start to the series, and I'm excited to see where we're going with the Bad Batch. So yeah, with all that said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.